r/AskMen. Men, what cute thing has your so done recently? My girlfriend works ass early on Sundays and I don't work in Sundays at all. Last week, she got up early and started getting ready while I slept, but she got too cold after her shower and jumped back in bed with me to warm up only in a towel. It was the cutest fucking thing I've experienced in some time. Edit, some of y'all need therapy. My wife has become disabled, uses a wheelchair, and passes out due to low blood pressure. When she passes out, I have to keep her propped up and make sure her head doesn't flop forward, cutting off her breathing. I can see it coming, but she fights it, saying, "I'm okay. I'm okay." But inevitably succumbs to the disorder. Sometimes, she's so determined that she sleepily says, "Told you," just before she really wakes up. Also, even when she's totally out of it, if I say, "I love you," she will respond like a passed-out drunk saying, "My muv mu mu." When she doesn't get home from work till 2 or 3 a.m. sometimes, and she'll get in bed shivering after a shower and snuggle up to me. Nice. My wife does the same thing. She calls me her personal space heater. I'm late here, but I'll post anyway. I have back issues, which really frustrates me. Lower half of my back gets inflamed. Don't worry, I'm doing lots of exercise and seeing an osteopath for help. Anyway, we're at this concert and my back is playing up big time. So much so I had to tell I needed to physically sit down and/or lean against the wall because it had got that painful. I let her know and tell her I don't want to mess up her evening. She follows me. I'm sitting down and feeling so much better. I'm a little upset though that I can't dance with her because of my back. As I'm sat down, she grabs my hands, joins me on the floor and starts dancing with me. I was so incredibly shocked I nearly cried. I didn't know what to do because I was so overwhelmed by how thoughtful and nice it was. She really took into consideration I was having a shit time and went the extra mile to make sure I was enjoying myself too. I'm still stunned by it, honestly. I'm glad I got to write about it. This is adorable. Keep her at all costs. I get it because my boyfriend is diabetic, and while we were at the Louvre suddenly had low blood sugar because he's a dummy and didn't eat a snack before we went in like I told him to, right as we were about to get right up next to the Mona Lisa because there was a huge crowd. I made him sit down and I ran to get him something from the bakery in the lobby. I just flew back home. Abid landed in the evening after having spent 2 weeks out of the country for work. I texted my girlfriend, told her I landed and was on my way home and might get some takeout for us for when she got back from work. She told me to put my stuff home first. When I get home she was already there, and had prepared a nice dinner for both of us. Turns out she actually had the day off, and had spent the entire afternoon preparing dinner. That's a keeper right there. I'm on a long run of long shifts. She would be too, but she's signed off by the doctor with an injury. She's made my lunch for me every day with little notes. Every time I wake up next to my girlfriend, who is absolutely not a morning person lol, she'll open her big bright eyes and give a little smile when she sees me. It's literally one of my favorite feelings in the world, to see her face each morning and her first reaction upon seeing mine. I have a similar story. Every morning I wake up, I look at the cold dead wall in front of my eyes and realize I am all alone. She's super hooked on Stardew Valley. Recently I started a game for the first time to make her happy, and every night she's very insistent that we cuddle in our underwear while she helps me play. TBH, it's not my style of game and I'd rather play something else, but her excitement keeps me coming back. Lol. That's so wonderful. Reminds me of when I was playing Sonic Generations and I kept watching my wife die on a certain level. The sheer will to take interest in what I enjoy doing is worth so much, and I'll love her forever for it. She holds onto my wrist when we're falling asleep because she saw that otters did it to not float away from each other when they sleep. That just brought back a sweet, cute moment for me. My boyfriend's favorite animal are otter. We had been apart while he was deployed for 5 months and met up halfway through. I had been traveling 30+ hours and was jet-lagged and wide awake, but he had fallen asleep with his arm stretched out to touch me and kept it like that for hours, and it made me think of how otters do that. When I get home from a long-ass night shift, slide into bed and her warm body curls up to mine. The feeling is unreal. If my hand isn't on her leg on our morning commute, she'll grab mine and place it there herself at the first stoplight. I'm pretty sure it's because I'm a living furnace and I heat her up faster than her car AC, but I still appreciate the gesture. If you're trying to warm up with the car's AC, do I have a trick for you that will do wonders. Hush your mouth. Dude's no fool. He know what he's doing. In the middle of the night, she turned to me and asked in a quiet voice, would you like to hear some facts about the hawksbill sea turtle? I didn't even know she was awake. My boyfriend likes penguins, and one night we were both laying in bed watching something and I remembered something I had read about penguins. I wanted to tell him about it, but I didn't know he was asleep, so I started talking and he woke up confused and then went back to sleep. The next morning he told me he had a nightmare about a penguin. He didn't remember me waking him up. My girlfriend, every Sunday since I have to work at 5 a.m. sends me paragraph-long text messages about how amazing I am to her when she goes to bed for me to see when I wake up. Honestly, it is the sweetest fucking thing ever and she's done it every single Sunday since we've been together and I love her so much for doing it. I normally hate working Sunday mornings but she makes it so much more bearable because she just puts the biggest freaking smile on my face when I wake up because she can't be there herself to make me smile. In case you are all wondering if I do it back to her, of course I do, winking face. I honestly have been needing to read something like this for a long time. Been doing the same thing for my ex while we were together and she'd barely respond back to my sweet paragraph messages. I'd leave her in the morning. She got off work at 1 a.m. I started work at 4 a.m. Thought it would be super nice to leave her long messages and sweet words to wake up to. I just realized now after reading your post how unappreciated I was. Thank you dude, for making me realize this. I now feel like I deserve way better. She always takes care of me. I got really drunk once, and went to sleep. When I woke up I had to puke, so I ran to the bathroom where she was peeing. She bounced up from the toilet, to give my sorryas some space, cleaned up the hallway I ruined and then put me under the shower, cleaned me up and tucked me in. If you ask me, standin' up mid-pee to let your so puke, that's real love dude. Hey, so I know this is a thread for men, but this one struck me. I'm a chick commenting. Last summer I got way too drunk at the bar with my mom and he had to come get us and make sure she got home safely before we went home. I was too drunk and just really needed a shower, so he got in with me, washed my hair, put a pad in my undies for me. I was drunk and more interested in sticking them on him. Got me dressed and put me to bed. When I woke up there was a breakfast sandwich, water, coffee and a bucket for me. Oh, and Advil. I adore that man and would go to the ends of the earth for him. Brought me her leftover quesadilla. This is the realest thing I've read on Reddit today. I was visiting a friend in Ohio. My girlfriend was back home. At the time, I had 2 contacts for her, one attached to her email, one to her phone hash. By accident, I drunkenly sent her an email that said, "Hi babe." Less than 5 minutes later she emailed me back, "Hi baby." Closing parenthesis quote. True love is emailing your drunk so back, no questions asked. Edits, clarification. I've done this before too. I drunk emailed my girlfriend a couple of weeks ago just "hey" and she responded like it was a professional email with her signature and all. It made me laugh the next morning, smiley face. We're in an LDR and recently she's wanted to be on a video call with me when we go to sleep. It helps her sleep because she feels more safe and I just think it's really cute. I love her. When my boyfriend and I were long distance, we would come home from work and play Dark Souls 3 while FaceTiming each other. This would literally go on for hours. If we weren't playing Dark Souls together, we'd FaceTime while watching the same movie. At the end of the night, we'd put Bob Ross on both our TVs, and then fall asleep on FaceTime. We'd literally FaceTime for like 12+ hours. My poor Mac. But it was all worth it. She got all excited and clapped when Dumbo flew. Was cute as hell. My so made me a book with about 60 pages of unique content, like a savings jar for me to color in as I put money into my account, my major goals categorized in a big circle diagram, sketches of Zelda characters, what to do when I feel sad, a task tracker for the month, cooking ideas, countries visited, mountains explorer, fitness tracker, keto page, dealing with anger, etc. My favorite page is high-class poops, where I note down what major worldly icons, tourist locations I pooped in their toilets. My girlfriend does this thing where she'll suddenly wrap her legs around one of mine and hold tightly onto my waist. She'll look up at me with the happiest smile and it's just the cutest thing ever. Congratulations. You now have a koala smiley face. My girl can't burp lol. Unlike me who can burp on command. She could chug a whole bottle of Coke and not feel the urge to burp. The other day she let out the smallest little burp and looked at me so proud of herself, ahahaha. I burped, and she had the biggest smile on her face. I never understood how guys could burp on command. Like burp the alphabet or whatever. Where is it stored? I hardly ever burp too. I just helped my girlfriend write and edit an essay for 5 hours, and to say thank you she surprised me with tickets for the AJR concert. It was very thoughtful and generous of her. She knows I love their music and we're both broke college kids, so I know it was a lot of money for her to spend. I'm very thankful for her. Whenever we are out shopping and my wife goes to put the cart away, she runs, skips back to the car in a really cute way, and it always makes me smile. She drove 45 minutes from home to Target, just to get me Game of Thrones Oreo cookies. After we had already visited 5 Targets without any success. It's the little things, smiley face. We just got the key to our apartment together, so the place was empty. So she went and set up a blanket fort in the empty living room as a surprise, because I told her I really like blanket fort as a child. We were driving and there was a really close and loud lightning strike. My wife farted because she got scared. It was kinda cute. First time I heard an fart she was trying to hold in a sneeze. She breathed in with like that pre-sneeze then clenched and farted loud as hell. It was funny and endearing? I get you, man. I have an ex that said with all seriousness that women don't fart. Ever. Fast forward a couple weeks later and we're in bed, she's out like a light and proceeds to rip a blanket lifter. I laughed so hard it woke her up. She snuck a little love note into my gym bag motivating me and telling me how much she loves me. Made me want to die, in a good way. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more Reddit stories like this.